Welcome back, everyone. At the Metrodome, the Redskins have beaten the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 15-13, and the Redskins extend their winning streak to 3 and snap the Vikings' winning streak at 4. Let's return you now to the floor of the Metrodome, where Leslie Visser is standing by with two of the standout performers for Washington. Leslie.
I am Greg here with a couple of guys who are at home in the Dome. First, Chip Lomilly. He went to high school, he went to college here, 5 field goals today.
Yeah, it was a great feeling to come back, and we knew Minnesota was going to give us a tough run for our money, and I just wanted to come in here and show everybody we can win here and just spoil their fun.
It was an awfully terrific effort on your part, but the offense seems to be struggling just a little. It's still inside the 20.
Yeah, well, the Vikings have a good defense, and they played us real well, and we did struggle a little bit in the red zone, but I think as long as we come up with some points, it's working. And
that you did. Congratulations to you, Chip. Well, the man that John Madden says is the best linebacker in the NFL these past 3 weeks, Wilbur, they didn't want to have turnovers early. How were you able to handle the Vikings?
We went after them. Usually people sit back on them. We went after them, and Coach gave me a lot of good plays to come off the corner. After a while they got to me, and then all of a sudden our middle came through, and it really worked out for us.
You've had 3 wins now over Denver, Philly, and now Minnesota. Is this team back on track?
Well, we still kind of beat up a little bit, but as soon as Lachey and those guys come back, I think we'll be a stronger team. But right now, motivation-wise, we're right where we need to be.
Congratulations to Wilbur. Back to you.
All right, Leslie, thanks very much. The Redskins are now 4-0 in the Metrodome, counting that Super Bowl victory over Buffalo. They're beginning to roll.
Greg, the one thing you have, you don't like the way the Redskins are playing offensively, but the one key to winning and winning consistently, and certainly in winning championships, is you have to have outstanding defense. And the one thing that I think Joe Gibbs has to be pleased with week in and week out has been the outstanding play of his defense. Williams back at tackle. Terry Allen shut down today. Gannon really not a factor. Didn't really hurt them even when he got outside the pocket. And Wilbur Marshall, as he told us last night, the fact that he is freed up now on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. They leave him in the game, which is something he was accustomed to when he was with the Bears prior to being picked up by the Redskins, now able to come in and be a force for 3 downs.
Yeah,
good game.
Now the Redskins raise their record to 5-2. The Vikings fall to 5-2 on the year, 15-13 to final. And let's take a look at the highlights from the game at the Metrodome this afternoon. Rich Gannon was sacked by the man you just saw, Wilbur Marshall. Wilbur Marshall had an outstanding game, as you saw, but hey, we'll look at Detroit against Tampa Bay.
Like those lines, Greg.
That is Kevin Glover, who was hurt on a play. He hurt his knee and was helped off. And then Barry Sanders really broke loose this afternoon.
Barry had an outstanding day, 121 yards rushing. And the key, once again, in this game was that man right there, Rodney Peete, as he throws a touchdown pass out in the flat. 3 TDs passing today. When you can pass the football, you loosen the secondary up. You force them to get out of run support. They don't run support. Then you turn Sanders loose. Big day for both of these guys.
Rodney Peete, 11 out of 19, 208 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Let's run back down to Tampa Stadium and join Jim Nantz and Hank Stram. Gentlemen. Jim and Hank are not speaking to us right now. we'll take a pause and get back to them. But let's talk about the Detroit Lions, their resurgence this week. And we thought that if Rodney Peete didn't get off on the right mark today, that he would have been gone and Eric Kramer would have replaced him.
Yeah, normally that's what happens. If the team's not moving well and the Lions only had one football game, that's what you go by, is by winning. And it's always looked at the quarterback. Peete doesn't have bad numbers, but they've only won one football game. Sanders has been shut down because teams have taken the outside lanes away. They've slowed their pass rush down with their tackles, and so that they don't go past, they don't rush until the quarterback gets beyond Sanders. And once he gets beyond him and he has the ball, then they go after the quarterback. This year, no lanes up the middle, no lanes outside for Sanders to run in, but the reason is they couldn't throw the football today. Peete throws the football well, loosens them up. Sanders turns it on.
Okay, as they say, we have reestablished our lines of communication.
You want to bet on that, Greg?
Let's go back to Tampa, and here's Jim Nantz and Hank Stram. Jim?
I think we have it this time, Greg, and Barry indeed came up big today, 38-7. The Lions scored on their first 3 possessions of the day, and after that, Hank, it was blowout city.
Yeah, it really was, and it was surprising because you came into the game with the anticipation that it might be the other way around because of the way Tampa Bay talked about coming into the game and all the excitement and all the things they thought they could do, and it turned out to be nothing.
Well, we talked just moments ago to Barry Sanders and got his remarks on his afternoon of play. Barry Sanders breaking out with a big game today, 121 yards, including a 55-yard touchdown run. Barry, congratulations.
Thank you.
Has to be very satisfying for you.
Very, very satisfying. We had a new face today. Our team came out real intense. We didn't commit a lot of errors. We executed the game plan. We played a lot of confidence, and I think that was a big key.
Tell us about your 55-yard touchdown run. It happened on the very first play after Kevin Glover went out with an injury.
Yeah, I think it was either second one and third and one, and approached the line of scrimmage, and the guy hit me. I was able to spin off of it or bounce off of it, and you know, the rest was pretty open after that. No one was out on the corners, and I was able to outrun the guy to the end zone.
Barry, you said before the game that formations and systems and schemes really didn't make any difference. Just block and let me run, and you'll do the rest. That's what happened this afternoon, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game of football is pretty simple. You know, you block good, you catch the ball well, you run well, you know, execute the game plan. I mean, it doesn't have a lot to do with different systems and things like that. I think the same things will always hold true. If you block guys, if you don't commit errors and things like that, you win games.
Barry Sanders, congratulations on a victory today and a big performance. By the way, Kevin Glover being examined now, his ankle. He had an injury in the second half. Detroit 2-5 on the year. Tampa Bay is 3-4. Let's go back to New York. And back to you, Greg and Terry. Take it away.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. You know, one thing that we didn't point out, we talked about Rodney Peete. If he didn't perform, he might have been out of there. What about the flip side? Vinny Testaverde.
He came out. He was only 5 for 11 in the first half, and I mean the first quarter. And DeBerg comes in, and Weiss had told Vinny early in the year, if you're having a bad game, I'm going to pull you out. Now, you're going to start the following week, but I'm going to pull you out. I'm going to let this other guy come in and play well. Today, DeBerg couldn't get it done either. Next week, we'll see Testaverde.
All right, we'll take a timeout and come right back with more in just a moment.
You know where I'm going tomorrow?
Where?
I'm flying all the way to Asia.
Can our plane fly there?
Well, maybe if you throw it real hard, it just might.
When you have business on the other side of the world, choose the airline that just cut up to 3 hours off your travel time to cities throughout Asia. With service to more Asian cities than any other U.S. airline, Northwest Airlines, the leading airline to Asia. Some people just know how to fly.
Yo, guys, there's Yogi. You can't top the Pringles pop. The taste is top.
Pringles? I haven't tried them in years.
Pringles taste better than these bag chips. Check it out, yo.
I'll believe it when I believe it.
So?
I believe it. They taste better.
Yeah. Observe. Bag chips feel greasy.
Grease don't taste good. Taste tastes good.
Yeah!
America's cities, built to be shining symbols of our nation's prosperity, now tell the story of economic stagnation. They are now filled with graphic examples of how our system has failed, filled with people who are sending us a message that change is desperately needed. They are telling us it is time to choose a candidate who will break the bureaucratic paralysis that is preventing solutions to crime and education. It is time to choose a leader who will establish enterprise zones that induce companies to create jobs in our inner cities and turn tax users into taxpayers. The writing is on the wall. This is no time to waste our votes on politics as usual. It is time for a candidate who will get down to business. It is time for Ross Perot.
On a special Monday picket fences, some say it was suicide.
It was suicide.
Some say murder.
Murder.
But what happened 10 years ago,
I think we should investigate,
has come back to haunt the town of Rome.
I say she's not dead.
A ghost story that can only happen around Halloween. Picket fences, Monday.
Welcome Welcome back, everyone. And for the first time, we welcome those of you who watched the Chicago Bears defeat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. The final there was 30-10. Let's get you caught up on all the scores and highlights as we have them now, beginning with the game at the Metrodome. The Redskins beat the Vikings today, 5 Chip Low-Miller field goals, and the Redskins win at 15-13. Rich Gannon sacked by Wilbur Marshall here, loses the handle. Fred Stokes recovers. And a tough day for Gannon all the way around. He's picked off by Kurt Gouveia.
Short pass over the middle. You know, the one place you cannot hold the football and then go to is the middle of the football field because you draw the traffic there. Gouveia waiting, reading the eyes of Gannon.
It was 12-3 Washington when Terry Allen made it in from a yard out to cut it to 12-10. But with time running down, under 2 minutes to play, Chip Low-Miller 49 yards out. That's the difference. 15-13. The Redskins win it. They improve to 5-2, and they have now won 3 in a row. That's their first victory on the road this season. They came into Minnesota 0-2 on the road, and the Vikings lose their 4-game winning streak. 15-13 Washington, the final score. Final score from Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium. The Eagles over the Phoenix Cardinals by a 7-3 score. Only touchdown of the day, Randall Cunningham produced it.
Well, you have to admire one thing about Cunningham, obviously his ability to scramble. Now he finds Williams wide open. Teams are taking away Fred Barnett on the other side. Williams has to come up to the front. He does in this game.
Joe Bugle reacts to seeing the Eagles stop his Cardinals on 7 consecutive tries inside the 3, and then Chris Chandler is picked up.
Chandler down in the middle, and once again, most of the interceptions you see over the middle are because the quarterbacks are staying to the outside too long, then staring back over the middle, and that's the worst place to throw the football late, Greg.
And, of course, coming up next week for the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys. Is that going to be a decent game?
I don't know. The Eagles' offense has got to get going. One thing good about today's game was Walker did rush for 100 yards. Williams did catch some passes, but Cunningham only 120-something yards passing, and this is not an offense that has in sync. You know, the first 4 weeks they really played well, and now the last 3 weeks, even though they won today, they have not played that well offensively, and I think they have to get back, establish their run, and don't give up on us so soon. Just stay with it. And now with Williams coming into the picture as a receiver, Barnett Williams, that really does help their offense.
Yeah, 5-2, the Eagles improve now. Let's send you back out to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia and join Tim Ryan. Tim?
Well, thank you, Greg. Yes, despite the bad weather conditions and some tough Phoenix defense, the Eagles can't be happy with their offensive display today. But on defense, they were #1, as they have been all season long. And we talked about that effort with one of the many stars on defense today, the great Reggie White. Okay. Reggie, an outstanding defensive job today. And, of course, you had many big plays, including the one at the end. They gave you a scare again, these Cardinals.
Yeah, they always do. And, you know, the Cardinals always pose a threat to us, especially down here. But, you know, I'm very happy with the win, but I'm very discouraged right now with the referees because it's happening every week. I know I'm subjected to get fined, but I don't care because, you know, there'll be no way that Reggie White would ever make big plays again with the holding and the things of that nature that's being called. And I hate to be one to sound like I'm complaining, but I've been in the league 8 years, and it's happening every year.
Well,
Reggie, you know going in that they're going to hold you, they're going to double you.
I understand that, but the thing that's discouraging to see how many times our offensive line gets called holding. If it's called evenly, then I understand. But we have big plays on offense that we had to come back because we got called for holding. So that's the discouraging part.
Reggie, that goal line stand, though, had to give tremendous inspiration for you for the second half.
Definitely did. You know, there were at least, I guess, we had 8 plays down here on the goal line, and we had some penalties that were called. But we hung in there and did what we needed to do to stop them. And, you know, I'm very proud of the way the defense played today. We all are proud.
Feel pretty good about going into Dallas now?
Feel good. We're going to have to really sweep up on mistakes we made, you know, on all sides of the ball because definitely we're going to Dallas playing a doggone good team, and hopefully we can come out of it on top.
Okay, good luck, Reggie. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Well, Matt Millen joins me here. They're in Dallas next week. Big game on CBS. Shaky offense, bunch of penalties, gave up 5 sacks, guys hurt. What do you think about next week?
Well, the good thing is they were able to rest some of the people that were hurt. They get both their tackles back, and Herschel Walker had the big day running the football, so they got to be happy with that.
Well, that they can feel good about, and they know they've still got that #1 defense, which they rely on. Let's go back now to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Tim, Matt, thanks very much. You know, Reggie White is a handful anyway. Dallas can't be pleased that it is a very upset Reggie White that's going to be up against him next week.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be fined for what he said. I wouldn't fine him, would you? But if you look at the Eagles, you got to look at two brand new starting tackles today. You got to look at Byers was out with a broken hand, not effective, big pass catcher for him. You got to look at two starting safeties defensively out of the ball game. Waters. I mean, you're looking at a team that's beat up physically, and the penalties and the sacks and the tackles. And as a quarterback, if you don't trust those tackles, you don't sit in there and let your offense develop. And I really think that's one of the big problems. Next week, get their tackles back, should play better.
Eagles and Cowboys next Sunday here on CBS. Now, team turmoil came up a winner today. The Giants beat the Seattle Seahawks 23-10, but it wasn't easy. That man's been under the gun. Stan Gelbaugh, 13-yard touchdown pass to Tommy Kane. That ends a streak of 14 straight quarters. The Seahawks hadn't scored a touchdown. Jeff Hostetler came up with a big one for the Giants.
Well, this is something you see a lot. A quarterback that has the ability to run, in a team like Seahawks, they jump into man coverage, Greg, as you saw there. No one covers the quarterback. I've said this 1,000 times. I'll say it again. How can you go and play man coverage inside the 10-yard line with a quarterback that has the ability to run? If you do that and he gets past the pass rush, it should be a touchdown. Hostetler, excellent job there.
Running back Jared Bunch came up with a big day for the Giants. He had 12 carries for 77 yards. The Giants win it 23-10. The Green Bay Packers at home fall to the Bears, 30-10. Chicago, the final score. The Bears up their record to 4-3. Jim Harbaugh, watch him direct traffic. Points in the end zone, says, Keith Jennings, I want you there. And then he hits him for the touchdown, 17-3. And then Harbaugh passes to Wendell Davis here.
Look at the beautiful throw. Nice over the top, drops it down in. And Wendell Davis out of LSU. Excellent hands. Harbaugh got those black shoes on. Those guys look good.
Brian Noble of the Packers suffered a neck injury in this pileup and was wheeled off the field on a stretcher. We will update any word that we get on him, but the latest that we have on Brian Noble is that he was taken to a local hospital for x-rays on his neck and his back. We have no further word, but as we get it, we will give it to you. 30-10, the Bears beat Green Bay. As we told you earlier, the Lions over Tampa Bay, 38-7, only the second win of the year for the Lions. The Bucs fall to 3-4. And at the Astrodome, AFC Central Division battle. The Oilers beat the Bengals 26-10. Good day for Warren Moon. This is a 30-yarder to Ernest Gibbons.
Well, this is kind of something you're used to seeing. Gibbons, wide open, Moon with that beautiful delivery. Offense that always is on the roll. Webster Slaughter has a big day today. I think this is what, Greg, his first touchdown cast as an Oiler.
And 35th time Warren Moon throws for 300-plus yards in a game. That places him in a third-place tie all-time with Joe Montana. We'll take a time out here, and then we'll come back and bring you up to date on the games that have gotten underway at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and we'll do that when the postgame show continues in a moment.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
Now freshen your carpets with new Glade Carpet Potpourri for pet odors, with absorbent baking soda and a fresh new Glade Potpourri scent. New Glade Carpet Potpourri for pet odors.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
I promise to let you color a red rose green. A promise that a secret whispered is as good as kept. A promise to keep things safe for you.
To help keep their promises, people have relied on us for more than a century. Mass Mutual, we help you keep your promises.
Wouldn't it be great if your neighbor was Wally Dallenbach, the Keystone Beer Winston Cup driver?
Wally, great car. Want to take it for a spin, Dave?
A spin?
And keep her under 170, Dave.
170?
See Wally or possibly his neighbor Dave, race the Keystone Beer stock car in the Winston Cup Series.
Well, how'd you drive, Dave?
Well, she drifts a little in 3. No problem. But we need to bleed the brakes.
Wouldn't that be great?
Something incredible is coming.
Abraham Lincoln is in your spare room.
Is it a miracle or mirage?
Sort of Willie Nelson with a bird feeder on his head.
Evening shade. Then, guess who's coming to dinner?
My ex-wife and a lady friend of hers.
Will John survive a battle of the sexes? Hearts of Fire after Evening Shade, Monday.
All those who love great comedy say, I.
Welcome back, everyone. As you heard earlier on the NFL Today, we talked about that improving Raider defense, and so far it has kept the Dallas Cowboys off the board at the L.A. Coliseum. The Raiders lead it 6-0 on a touchdown run by Marcus Allen, and the Raiders an improving team.
Improving, you're right. You know, one of the things, Greg, in this game is that the Cowboys and the Raiders this summer had all those scrimmages down in Austin. These two teams know one another well. Al Davis and Jerry Jones, very good friends, do a lot of swapping, a lot of trading, so this game has a lot of importance, but Marcus Allen inside the 5, you'd have to figure he's the guy that's going to touch the football.
The extra point was no good. The Raider defense has gone 10 straight quarters without allowing a touchdown. The Raiders lead the Cowboys 6-0 in the first. First quarter in Miami, the unbeaten Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts are scoreless. Tight end Keith Jackson is playing for the Dolphins. That despite a pulled groin muscle suffered in practice on Friday. He is in the starting lineup, and he's playing. That game is scoreless in the first. They're also scoreless in San Diego, where the Broncos are playing the Chargers in an AFC Western Division matchup. That's a first quarter score. And a first quarter score at Foxborough. The Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns lead New England 3-0. That Cleveland defense is working on a string of 13 consecutive quarters without allowing a touchdown to the opposition. Matt Stover's 30-yard field goal is the difference in that one. We'll take a timeout here, and then we'll send you back out to the stadiums and the games you are watching here on CBS in just a moment.
I see your printer here doesn't boast the HP LaserJet name. Did you ask for this?
No, I didn't. I assumed when I asked for a laser printer, I'd get a LaserJet.
Huh. Have you spoken to management about this?
I am management.
Oh, so how did this happen?
Poor management, I guess.
Nah, probably just poor communication.
Yeah.
Maybe you ought to send yourself a memo.
Yeah, and I could make a point of specifying an HP LaserJet.
Yeah, don't mince words either. HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
In Europe, things happen on time, right on schedule. Punctuality is the norm, and that makes Europe the ideal environment for UPS. Fact is, UPS has built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So when you have a shipment going there that has to be on time, use the delivery company whose punctuality is a time-honored tradition. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
Introducing Levi's loose-fitting jeans. A loose interpretation of the original.
Just because you go all out, doesn't mean you gotta stink. Not if you're wearing this. And here comes your chance to prove it. And you will, because Old Spice works. Man, does it work. Fights wetness, kills bacteria. The proof?
Hey, hotshot.
You're looking at her.
Old Spice Antiperspirant for great odor protection. You demand proof, not promises.
When two cops fight drug gangs, it tears one small town apart.
So you saw the shooters?
A chief pitted against his men.
Somebody give it to you free?
A mother fighting for her son.
I just don't want to lose it.
A husband torn from his wife.
I'm going to do what I have to do.
Carol O'Connor, Howard Rollins, In the Heat of the Night. Season premiere Wednesday.
Well, John, you know we're far enough into the season now to start sifting down and see who do you think are the best teams in the NFC?
You know, if you look at it, I still think that you look at the NFC East, and I think the Cowboys, the Redskins, and Philadelphia are still three of the top teams, and then you say, who's next? I think you throw the 49ers in that group. So I think that group is probably the best. The Cowboys, the Redskins, the Eagles, the 49ers. Then I think there's a line, and under that line, I think you have the Saints and Minnesota and probably the Chicago Bears, and that's the way it looks like to me. Now, any of those teams can jump up. Of course, we know Washington's beat up, Philadelphia's beat up. They could slide down, but after 7 or 8 games, that's the way I feel.
Boy, you're so right. A lot of what happens from here on in depends on those injuries. So for John Madden, Pat Summerall saying so long from the Metrodome, where once again the final score is the Redskins 15, Minnesota 13. Next Sunday, week 9 of the NFL season, features doubleheader action on CBS. In the early game, most of you will see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the New Orleans Saints. Others will see either the Los Angeles Rams against the Atlanta Falcons or the Green Bay Packers against the Detroit Lions. Then in game 2, most of you will see the Philadelphia Eagles take on Dallas. Others will see the 49ers against the Phoenix Cardinals. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL Today. Watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
A family of cops takes on a family of thugs.
You guys handle this bust, or is this bust gonna handle you?
Wednesday, the Hat Squad.
This is CBS.